Listen to this sound. Crunch. That's $10,000. Gone. Not from a crash, not from theft, from a wet floor, one puddle, one box, one collapse, and everything stacked above it, gone. Now here's the strange part. That box was designed to survive this. It failed anyway, and the reason why is hiding inside every card box on Earth, in a single angle nobody ever measures. Today we're answering why cardboard has a secret geometry, right here in Standard Zero. To understand the box, we first have to look inside its walls. Slice a cardboard box open. Really look at it. There are 3 layers. Flat sheets. Between them, a wave. That wave isn't decoration. It isn't filler. It's an arch. Architects have known this for 2,000 years. The Roman aqueducts used the same trick. An arch doesn't resist force, it redirects it. Into the walls, into the ground. That wavy layer does the same thing. But at the scale of your thumbnail, think of it like this. Take a single sheet of paper, press down. It buckles instantly. Now fold it into a wave and press again. That wave has turned a dead sheet to a column. 1 square meter of corrugated cardboard, thinner than your finger, can hold the weight of a small motorcycle. That's roughly 200 kilograms. That's not cardboard. That's quiet engineering. But here's the enemy, and it's invisible. Humidity. Water doesn't tear cardboard. It doesn't punch through it. It ghosts inside the fibers. Silently, slowly. It breaks the hydrogen bonds that give paper its stiffness, the molecular glue holding every arch in place. A box at 90% humidity loses up to 75% of its stacking strength. That's not a wet box. That's a box that looks fine and can no longer hold a bag of rice. The arch is still there, but screams underweight it used to laugh at. So if the arch is so strong, why does the wave have a specific angle? Why not steeper? Why not flatter? The answer comes down to a man who was trying to protect hats. In 1856, 2 British inventors, Edward Healy and Edward Allen, patented a corrugated material. Not for shipping, not for industry, for hat liners. And top hats were stiff on the outside and brutal on the inside. Corrugated paper was the cushion. The wave absorbed impact, kept the hat's shape, kept sweat from wrecking the brim. Nobody thought about boxes. That came 15 years later, in 1871. A New York merchant named Albert Jones wrapped glass bottles in single-sided corrugated paper for shipping. The wave gripped the glass, killed the vibration. Bottles stopped shattering transit. But here's the wow moment nobody teaches. Those early waves were random. Different manufacturers used different heights, different frequencies, different paper weights. Boxes worked until they didn't. Stack 4 random wave boxes and the waves don't align. The arches fight each other. Load transfers unevenly. The bottom box shreds. The industry was bleeding money, and nobody knew why. Then engineers started measuring, and found sounding uncomfortable. The wave angle wasn't the problem. The inconsistency was. But here's the part he talks about. The angle wasn't discovered. It was negotiated. In the early 1900s, the American railroad industry controlled what could be shipped in cardboard boxes. Railroads had a financial interest in wooden crates. They were heavier. They wore down tracks faster. They generated more revenue per mile. Cardboard threatened that. So in 1906, the railroads imposed what became known as the Consolidated Frassification, a set of rules that effectively banned cardboard boxes from carrying anything heavier than 44 pounds. Not because cardboard failed the tests, because the tests were written to make cardboard fail. One engineer, a man named Robert Gare, who ran a paper bag factory in Brooklyn, saw this differently. Gare had already invented the pre-cut cardboard box in 1890. His machines could produce 500 boxes per hour, something previously done by hand. He didn't fight the railroads in court. He went to their engineers instead. And in 1914, after years of standardized crush tests, the railroad classification was quietly revised. Boxes could now carry up to 80 pounds. If the corrugation met specific structural minimums, that standard, refined over the following decades, eventually locked in the flute geometry used worldwide today. The dominant standard, the C flute, has a wave height of approximately 3.6 millimeters and a flute angle that sits close to 13 degrees from vertical. Not because 13 degrees is magic, because 13 degrees is what survived the railroad's tests and got written into the contract. Every box you've ever touched carries the ghost of that negotiation. So the next time you flatten a cardboard box, feel the resistance before it gives. That's 150 years of arch geometry, railroad politics, and Victorian hat technology pushing back against your hands. The wave inside isn't packaging. It's a compressed argument that someone won in 1914, repeating itself quietly in every warehouse on Earth. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button. Standard 0 out.